Hello, my creative friends. My name is Heather North. You can find me on Instagram at Heather's Creative Blessings. Today is Thursday, March 17th, 2022, and I'm so glad you've come back for another Flosstube. This is Flosstube number 50, and it should be much shorter than Flosstube number 49. I thank you so much for coming back and stitching and chatting with me. I really enjoy the interaction and sharing with you guys, and especially when you comment or you leave me a message. It just feels more a part of this community. Last week's video took a week. I think it took a solid week to upload that video, and I can't tell you how many times I tried. Those of you who are floss tubers and maybe are struggling as well, here's what I found. Because I had so many cuts, I had so many interruptions, I had to cut. I'm filming on my phone. I would have to stop and restart. I have iMovie on my phone, so I can just add those clips in and then save it. But I think YouTube still didn't like that. So what I did to get around that is I created a new movie. I added just the movie I had already saved in there. And what that did was it had it together as one piece instead of 10 different chopped up pieces. So I saved that new movie, which was the same as the old, but it's a new movie, it's all one piece, and then that uploaded much quicker. So if you're in a boat like I was, where you can't just film it all in one segment, and you're finding that's a struggle to load, try maybe saving it again in a different format and see if that works. I was trying all kinds of different things, and everything had been updated before I filmed, but that's just the way it is. So just a little bit of life update, then we'll get into the stitching. Last week when I was filming, my son was getting ready for his interview with the officer, and he's trying to get everything together to get into officers training school. And this was one of the last big steps. He thought the interview went really well. The feedback though that he got, I'm not so sure. As a mom, I don't know. But he felt really good about it. His recruiter felt good about it. He did his MEPS physical on Thursday, and he said he passed with flying colors, even the depth perception, which apparently is a difficult one to pass, and he did, which is good because what he wants to do, he needs to have good depth perception. And then he got his last thing he needed to get done on Saturday. He had an appointment, and they called and said, oh, we're out of that you need, and it'll be back in next week. Well, that would be too late. And so he called around, found someone else that could give it to him, and he got that. And then Sunday, he just woke up miserable. He had a fever, a headache, felt very achy and chills, and he ended up taking a nap. And this is a guy who needs maybe 6 hours of sleep a night. It never takes naps, unlike his mama. I love naps. I hated him as a kid, love him now. Anyways, he took a nap, and by Monday he was feeling better. He got that information loaded and sent to his recruiter, and the recruiter had all of that combined and sent it in Monday morning, I believe. And so now he waits for the board to review his application, and that takes place in May, or maybe it's finished by May or something. He should hear by June or July, and then we'll find out what the next steps are for him. So that's my mama update. Thanks for listening. I am continuing to pray for all of you that have family and loved ones in the military. Always have, always will, because yeah, I'm gonna move on, because like I said last week, this is a place about cross stitching. I want to keep it about cross stitching, but it's also me and my life and sharing a little bit of my life. What have I been up to? Okay, so last weekend was WIPGO weekend. WIPGO is a Jessie Marie Does Stuff brainchild. It's bingo for your whips, and on WIPGO weekend, you set a goal and try and reach it. I set a goal I reached one of them. Oh, let's just show you. What was the goal? So, what do you want to see first? The goal I reached or the goal I didn't? This is not the goal I didn't. This is a different one. All right, so this one should have been done. It was so easy. I was just saving it for Sunday. But what happened was Saturday, we were going to go do something. Can't remember what it is now, but it was going to be a quick trip. Oh, we have a big thing coming up this weekend, and we needed dress shoes. So we were going up to Olympia to the mall because we didn't find any at the Woodburn outlets when we were down there. Lots of tennis shoes and that kind of thing, but not dress shoes. And so we went to the mall to do that. But then my husband wanted to do a detour, which took us down to Centralia and Chehalis. I know you guys that don't live around here, you're like, why are you spitting out these names I've never heard of? But if you do live around here, you know that Centralia Chehalis is the opposite direction of Olympia. And I don't think you can find dress shoes down in Chehalis. I could be wrong. I just might not know where to shop. But my husband said, well, first I want to show you XYZ. And so he took me to his shop. And then I'm like, well, if we're going to go see XYZ, do you mind going just a little bit further down to Chehalis? And I want to go to Sister's Quilt Shop because I was looking for something specific. And so we went down there, went back to the other place, and he's filling out some paperwork, and I said, I'm going to hop across the street. And so I hopped across the street, and this shop, I kept the tag here to show you. And of course, with the cat and everything, knocking everything over. I want to say it's like Primrose Primitives or something along those lines. I'm sure I will find it in the midst of all of my things. I just don't want them to all fall over if I grab it. Is it down here on the floor? The cat came in here as I was setting up and knocked everything over, including my drink. So it has disappeared, but it will show up. Anyways, the lady handmade this. So I think she painted it on there. I think it is so pretty. So I know that's more of a haul thing, but you know, my husband was shopping at his shop and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to go across the street there. And they had some cabinets, and come to find out, she hand paints them. So I still need to go take measurements in my sewing room because I desperately need a cabinet to hold my quilts, not my quilts, my quilting fabric and notions and supplies, because it's a mess up there, but it's a small space. So I need to measure and see if any of the things she has will work. But if you're down in the Centralia area, try and wait until I get down there and get the cabinet I want, if it fits. Just kidding. But she has lots of different little home decor things that she's made, things that she's painted, and she's only open 3 days a week, which explains why when I've gone before, I haven't been able to catch her there. So we went there, and then we still had to go up to Olympia. So that cut way into my cross-stitching time. So instead of taking, a couple of hours, it was more like 6-8 hours by the time we got, because after we're done with that, we got to go out to dinner, right? And so we went out to dinner, and then should we stop at the store? Oh yeah, we need eggs for breakfast in the morning, and then. So I got a little stitching on, so I'm going to switch back. I got a little stitching done on Quaker Snowflakes. And then I had to rip out what I did and then restitch it the next morning. So I didn't get far along on Flea Market Flowers, but I did make my goal by the next morning. So my goal was so simple. My goal for the month on Flea Market Flowers by Lori Holt was to do one box. I happened to be on this blue box, and so my goal for the weekend was just to get the flower done, because it was a small block. Still gonna work on this. In fact, now it's on my No New Starts board, so of course I'm gonna keep working on it until it's done or the year ends, because that's how No New Starts works. Once it's on my board, it's on my board. I didn't get it done for WIPGO weekend, but I did get it done, and I used all of the called for colors in the flower. The leaves are different. Colors are so-so. It is very overcast today. But I'll do a little bit closer. I was hoping to get this one done and this one done, or this one done and start on this big one here. Where's, no, it's upside down. So I was hoping to get either this one done or start on that one, but that didn't happen. So, oh well. I'll pull it out next weekend. And the flower was almost done. Like I said, I got it done Monday morning. I'll pull this out again next week. And since my other goal is complete, that'll be my only WIPGO thing for the month left. All right, so the second WIPGO was my Quaker Snowflakes by Hello from Liz Mathews. My goal for the month, or for the year, I guess, my WIPGO goal, is to get this finished. My goal for the weekend was to do 450 stitches because it double dipped into the No New Starts road trip where I need to stitch on something with, I think it's something with a plane or something that flies. And so birds fly, it works. I think that's what the prompt was for. Either that or it was a tree or a bush or something. So after making my mistake and restitching it again, pulling all of it out beyond what I had even stitched because the mistake was made before I started for the weekend, Quaker Snowflakes is done. Yay! Yay, 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 yay. Oh, I decided, I think I talked about this, I may have talked about it last week. I've been thinking about it. I decided to take out the glad tidings in the bottom row. It still leaves it in the same category for the No New Starts. I was kind of worried about that. By changing that, I would make it from a large project to a medium, but it still is big enough that it fits still in the large. But I took out glad tidings because I want to keep this out longer than Christmas. I think it's a beautiful, if you look at that, it's just a beautiful winter scene. It obviously has snow and it has trees, but it's not specifically necessarily Christmas. And so I decided to leave it off. I played around with even doing Merry Christmas or Merry or Joy or something. Not that I have anything wrong with glad tidings. I just want to be able to leave it out longer. And so last night I asked my husband and he said, I don't like the phrase glad tidings. So I'm like, well, that made that decision easy. So this is Quaker Snowflakes by Hello from Liz Mathews, stitched by me. I'm going to show you a close-up. There's the bottom row. And I made some changes. So it is stitched on Scotsman by Bestitch Me. And the tag is wrong. It is a 16 count Ada. And I'm really glad I worked on Ada with this because there's so much it's all full crosses and there's so much blank space. It is so much easier to count when you just count one instead of having to count two, especially on a diagonal. Even so, I messed up somewhere on this side, and so I had to count and make sure I was correct. It would have been so much easier if I knew it was correct, but I had to keep counting. I had done the bird one. I think I was missing two. I was missing two stems here, 2 stitches to make this go up, and where I placed, so I had done the whole thing down to here and started on the bird when I realized, okay, the bird's in the wrong spot. That'll mean the urn's in the wrong spot. The bird's running into the leaves on the other side, so I had to take that whole thing out. Oh, what a mess that was. Ugh. All right. I'll look in my book if I need to, but let me see if I have, where'd my thing go? Here it is. The colors that I use, because I did make color changes. Oh, of course I didn't write it down on there. That would just be too easy. Give me a second. Give me a second. The cat's meowing out there. He's been fed. He's fine. He just thinks that I'm talking, so I should instead pay attention to him. Hi, Gandalf. if you jump up on the couch, the peoples can see you. And be Flosstube famous. I was talking, or I guess messaging back and forth with Jan Holder this morning on Instagram. And I was telling her something I was thinking about last night. That it is really incredible to me the difference that floss makes, different colored floss makes, depending on the color of fabric you're stitching on. It really does change the color and the look of the different flosses. So here's my floss mess. I added in the red because I wanted a red cardinal. I think this red is a little, I thought it looked good. And it does look good, but it's a little bit bright, a little bit more pink than I wanted. I tried another, I think Weathered Barn maybe by Gentle Arts, or Old Barn, one of those colors. And it was just too muted on the background, and I wanted that bird to stand out. It definitely stands out. And the green might be a little too bright on the stems, but the MPI color green just didn't, it was again too soft. So the white, I started with MPI Silks, which she called for, Liz Mathews called for. This is the white that I used. It's NPI color 992. Kind of reminds me of 3865. And then the trees are in this Gentle Arts, and that's where I was like, the Gentle Arts on its own to me looks different than when you put it onto that dark blue. It just, it definitely changes the, I don't know, the color, the tone, the hue, the shade, one of those words. Anyways, that was Gentle Arts. This is NPI. This was the little leaves and the stem or the vine of the flowers. It's MPI 662. It's probably hard to see in this lighting, but even like right here, you could just kind of see how it plays differently on white than it does on the dark. The tree trunks were done in MPI 204. And originally I had stitched, in fact, one of the times you've seen this, the flowers were stitched in this color, but it looked rust when I put it on with the rest of the colors. So I ended up using this in the trunks of the tree. I was going to go for more of a brown, but since this turned out kind of a copper brown color, I used that. This is Bestitch Me Blush. That's the color I ended up choosing for this, which to me is a much brighter pink once stitched. And I thought, okay, I need to get even a different color. Thought about doing it in white. Once you start making changes though, there are so many options. And at some point I had to say, you know what, I want to get this done. I've got other things I want to stitch. So I think on just the white background, it looks more of a blush, and even on here. But once you stitch it up, it looks like a soft, bright pink. To me, it's a very different color stitched on there. And then this one is called Fire by Bestitch Me. That's what I ended up doing the bird in. I want it to be more of a cardinal. And to me, it ends up looking kind of a raspberry color on there. But I'm not redoing it. It'll be fine. And then I really want to change the urn. I wanted it to be, actually I was going to do this copper color, and then I put it in there. I really didn't like that color against, because to me that'd be like a clay pot. I didn't like that against the bird. And then I was playing around with some grays and nothing was working right. So I just went with black. And this happens to be, even though I have it on a Classic Colorworks leftover tag, it's Anchor Black. So I had a spool of Anchor Black thread. And I just kind of keep that spool, that one, and there's a white one by Anchor. I keep them both by where I'm stitching, because if I just need a little bit of either one of those colors, it's just easy and convenient. So that's my Quaker Snowflakes. And all that talking means I just really lengthened my video. Hope you're okay with it. The other thing about this is I measured it. Ouch! Oh, got my needle. I measured it, and I think it's 8.5 by 8.5. So I can do a square frame with it like this. And I might have something in mind because I had bought it for a different piece that it's not going to be used for anymore. I just need to measure it and see if it'll fit in there, because that'll be, I think I do want to frame it, but, or sort of frame it myself and then have it up on the wall for the winter time. Eek! That's done. Yay! Put everything away. And those are my WIPGO projects for the month. Lots of finishes this week. Let me do one more whip. I've got 2 more whips, but I've got 2 more finishes. This is Pink Barn by Shannon Christine Designs. It's part of her Rose, what's it called? Rose Farm. Well, this is the frame. This is the picture of the frame, but the Rose Farm collection. The Pink Barn Row. I am so close to having this done. I think I did this the day I stitched, or the day I did my video. So I think this has been done since then, but if not, I'm sorry. Please indulge me. It's so pretty and it's springy. And this is my Pink Barn. I have the tree done. I have the fence, the quilt. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. This is what I was working on. Oof. The other tree done. The clouds. The truck is done. The fence is done. All I have left to do on that top Pink Barn is that rose border that goes between the gingham check. So I'll have that rose border. Yeah, that's the only rose border. And then I'll have the 3 different patterns below. I might start with the center one because I have been, from the very beginning, just excited to do that wood board. Oh, I love it so much. So I might skip ahead and do that. Plus, I'll have to look at the pattern itself. Plus, I think I can get a lot of stitches in for things with this because there's a lot of fill-in. Of course, there are 1, 2, 3, at least 3 colors. Just eyeballing it, at least 3 colors in that wood itself, plus the white. 4. Shannon Christine Designs. Shannon Christine does an incredible job using DMC to get highlights, shading, depth, tone. Just incredible. So I use her called for DMCs. But it does mean lots of color changes, which is similar to how it was when I first started cross-stitching, because until recently I didn't even know there were over-dyed flosses. All right, I think this is my last whip, and then I've got 2 finished. I finished in an FFO. This is the other thing I've been working on. Like I said, the no new starts is, I got distracted. The cat is on that little tiny window up there, and he's gonna knock something over. Hey, what are you doing up there? Get down. He just looks at me like, you think I'm going to obey you? I'm a cat. All right, this is Just My Type by It's So Emma. It's on my WIPGO board for later this year to get the typewriter done. I'm pretty sure that's going to be done either today or tomorrow. I'm getting very close to the typewriter part. So again, this is the thing I'm stitching for in the No New Starts road trip is a whip that has something that flies on it. The bird flies. Also, I want to get a medium project done so I can start a new medium project. I've got like 3 medium projects on my board, and that's just how they categorize in the No New Starts. They categorize each whip by the count, height and width divided by 2, and then they separate it into different sizes. And I think you get raffle tickets based on the sizes that you finish. I'm not sure how that works. I don't even, that part's not important to me so much as following the rules and making sure that if I'm working on a medium. So I have 3 medium whips going right now. This is one of them. Serendipity is another one. And then, what's that third one? Might be CrossStitch Nation. That might be, I think that might be a medium. It's on that borderline of medium or large. So I want to get this done, and I'll show you the next one I want to start in just a second here. But it meets those two, that personal goal, the upcoming WIPGO goal, and the no new starts goal. So this is what I'll be working on. This is on chalkboard, not chalkboard, I'm sorry, whitewash board, Ada, from Fabric Flare. Using the called for color and cotton. Love me some color and cotton. Called for color and cotton floss. The colors are not looking quite right to me. Let me put this on here because it's getting flopsy. It starts out kind of stiff, that Fabric Flare. But I've been working on this a lot and putting it in and out of the bag. All right, so I'm on the typewriter. You see this little thing here? That's the start of the bottom row. Yeah. So I've got the space bar to put in, and then, I don't know, 4 to 6 rows down here. And once the space bar, and I've got the spacing for the space bar, it's just filling. I don't even have to think about it. That's going to be pretty easy work there. The next, the other things left to do, I need to fill in the bottom of the envelope, and there's 2 hearts that go down here. And then this piece will be done. This piece will be done. Since it is fill-in work, it just depends on if I have time before we leave on our short little trip. Hopefully it'll be done though by the time, of course I say that and then there ends up being more stitching than I think there's going to be. But hopefully it'll be done before the next time we meet. And not because it takes 1,100 years to load the video, but because I get it done. Oh. Hi, Gandalf. That cat. Okay, this next piece has been my little, it fits in my purse. So I've taken it along with me. And it's an ornament size. It's from the Just CrossStitch February 22, 2021. So this is no longer in the stores, but I believe you can get their back issues. Is that what they call it? Back issues of Just CrossStitch magazine online. And this one, I'll show you the picture. My Love, who's it by? I wanted to say Hands On Design, but no, it's by Anna Chinoto. I'm sorry, I apologize. Of Stitching in the Rain. So there's her name. Just a sweet little piece. Started before Valentine's, but it's the funniest thing. If I don't have CrossStitch with me in the car, I'll end up going somewhere with my husband or even just myself. If I don't have CrossStitch, there ends up being this long wait where I'm just sitting in the car, whether it's road construction or I did the car side to go, picking up Applebee's, and I guess everybody else had decided to do that too a week or 2 ago. Maybe it was a Friday and that's why. I think it was last Friday. And they come out, she took my money, she went in to go get my food, and waiting. She got bombarded, and so I waited another 15 minutes just for her to come back out and give me my card back. And I was like, well, this is what happens when you are done with your cross stitch. I had just finished that at the hairdresser earlier because I had finished my cross stitch. I'm going to show you. Ah. So if I don't have the cross stitch, it's going to take forever. If I have it, I won't get it done. So this simple little piece, what, hour and a half, 2 hours at most? And that's just because of the counting to get around. I've had it in there since before Valentine's Day. Now that it's done, I'm having to do all the waiting things. So let me put it on a white background instead of that black. It's stitched on a light pink, I think it's a blush from, I think it's Fabric Flare. I can't swear to it. Maybe not. It has a sparkle to it, so I don't know if it's from Fabric Flare or an Etsy shop. But I stitched the love. Oh, here's my little copy. I just printed it to have a working. Oh, sorry. Forget I did that. I wanted to show you the little. I had the cute thing on the part that I'm looking at. That's my needle minder from Flamingo Toes. I just love it. Okay. Squirrel. All the squirrels. And in here I keep a pair of reading glasses and these scissors that I think I got at Hobby Lobby. But wait. It's just got a little tiny tip. They're super sharp. And it has the cover for it. So I like that. Sometimes I'll also have a needle threader in there. I don't with this one because it was really easy to get the threads onto this needle. So the heart, the love heart, is in Sweetest Heart by Classic Color Works. Isn't that a pretty color? And then which isn't showing up all that great, especially on camera, but it's what I had in there. It's called Marvelous, again by Classic Color Works, but this is the old one because it says Crescent Color Works. Yeah, Crescent Colors, not Crescent Color Works. So that is this, ready to be finished for next Valentine's Day or our anniversary. I'm not sure. What's that now? 2 finishes just in that short week. So not as many whips, but that's because I've been trying to work towards finishing these things so I don't feel guilty about wanting to start. Plus, all of the new things out at market, I still haven't decided what I'm going to purchase. I know some things I'm purchasing for sure, but I've held off on ordering them because I can't get like there's the top 4 and I can't get them all at the same place because they're sold out, and I don't want to end up ordering from multiple places. Well, ordering the same thing because I'm not keeping very good track of myself. I know, make notes and it'll all be okay. Whatever. I am just not doing good with that. Everything, there's so much going on and my brain is so scattered that I decided this week that since the mask mandates have been lifted for Washington and Oregon, for the most part, not completely, but for the most part, that I can now go down to Acorns and Threads, and it's in Portland, Oregon. So I will go down there hopefully next week, maybe week after, and see what they have, because I'm sure they've got a display of the market release, and maybe purchase from them first, and then I'll have it in hand and I can see the things to see what I want, which I think would be really fun. I've only been once. I've only been able to make it there once. What to go again? Okay, this, I'll show you a quick little flash. This is the freebie I told you about last week. It's from Jennifer Richardson. She's of Violets and Verses here on YouTube and on Facebook. She's got a group and she did this free chart, and what she said was, here is a freebie. Please say a prayer as you stitch for the people of Ukraine. And so I did that. I'm calling this Sunflower Prayers. It doesn't really have a name. The colors I use, let's see, I stitched it on 16 count Ada in the color Tiffany by Fabrics by Stephanie. And the DMC I use, blue 825, green 505, white 3865. The yellow, I used Bestitch Me Sunflower, and the brown was DMC 632. All right, and this is a finish and an FFO. Blue. Today on Facebook, you know how they share the memories? Today's memory was my son and the first friend he made up here, made a friend on the bus. His mom was the bus driver, which says, so he ended up riding the bus with my son every day, and they played baseball together throughout the years. And so today was their high school picture. I think it might have been the senior year even. No, it wasn't senior year. Junior year? Junior year. I think. Can't remember now. Anyways, it was a memory of the two of them, and they're wearing their school colors, because that's the Rochester school colors. This blue and this yellow. So, but those are not my colors, like I've said before, but I stitched this while praying for the people in Ukraine, praying for those who love them, pray for those who have loved ones over there, all the things. And I finished it on this cute little board. I can't remember what it says. I think it says something about sunflowers or summer. I got it at Hobby Lobby. I saw that yellow and I was like, I wasn't even done with this. I was pretty sure this was going to go on there. Or I was done with it. I didn't have the size with me, but I was going to make it work. And that's why I had the rickrack. I made it too small and the words were kind of showing through on a couple, like, it didn't look right. So I added the rickrack to cover that up. And then this is a little bee charm. It came with a black and white checked ribbon, which I really liked. But since this whole thing was in navy and blue, I decided, that's brown, that's green. I grabbed this ribbon from my stash. It's an old Stampin' Up ribbon. I thought it went really well with the stitched check, but I don't know that it goes so well. It's like 3 different blues. Well, I guess it's 4 different blues when you add in the Tiffany blue, but it's just a sweet little stitch. And my plan is to give it to somebody who needs a little sunshine in their life. I don't have anybody specific in mind right now. Got a couple possibilities, but I'll know when the time is right. This was definitely stitched to be given away. So that's my prayers for Ukraine. On that note, I want to start another one in its place. And again, that's why I was working on the medium. There's a couple of medium-sized projects, a little bit larger, that I want to do. And it also goes along, in my mind, a little bit with Easter coming up and the Easter celebration. And so that's peace, and the symbol of peace is a dove. And I found a couple of different dove patterns. The first one I have a printout of, and that's this. I'm sorry, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, but it's Crochet A Go-Go. This is peace. It's a free pattern. You can find it on, well, there's a snapshot for you. You can find her on Instagram. I think she might have a blog. Let me see. I'm not sure. She's got a Facebook page. So check her out, Crochet A Go-Go. And you can find her freebie. That's one that I want to do. There's another one in my Etsy cart. I believe it's in my Etsy cart, but it might have been a pattern, not specifically for Ukraine, but it had that peace dove with the, I don't know if this is really olive branch, but it had like 3 olive branches coming down. So pretty. I want to do that one. But it's a paper pattern and I haven't ordered it yet, so it hasn't come in. And this other one, this is also a freebie from Madame Chantilly called Peace, and you can find it on her blog. I think I may have shared, I shared the pictures with you. That's why it's folded in half. So you could either just do the dove that's in the center, Look at that fat little dove. Or you can do the dove and the wreath. So I've decided to do the dove and the wreath. And I have changed just a couple of colors I plan on changing. And it's to soften it a bit, I believe. I grabbed this piece of 28 count Lugana in the color Chickpea. It's one of my all-time favorites from Color and Cotton. And I have just the tiniest start. So the yellow, like I said, I really softened the yellow. It calls for, and it's not a huge difference as far as the numbers. I think it was 3822 that it called for, and I did 3823. But it's a much softer, better yellow. And that's just the small start on this. I find myself really wanting to work on this, to do the stitching and stitch for piece. Also, I really like that the wreath itself is more of a heart. It's very pretty. So that was my one new start. And I either need to finish, in my own mind, I either need to finish another medium project to fit one of these in, or wait till that one's done. Because I have this piece and I've got several in my Instagram cart. Oh, sorry about that. And I thought this was going to be quicker. Should have known I would just talk. I think I had more finishes to share than I realized too. So where was I? I think I was talking about the adding in the prayers for peace stitching. Is there a prayers for peace stitch along? If not, there should be. I'll have to look. Hashtag prayers for peace. We could all use that. And along those lines, I apologize. I'll try and clip it out if I have already shared this. The Snowflake Diaries. Her name is Mathews. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I apologize. I butchered that. I think I shared this. I might not have. I think I shared it last week on my last video, but I'm not sure. Because I think I ordered this and paid for it. Is it a freebie on her blog, or did I think I paid for it because it's got, oh no, it's a free pattern. It's a free pattern. This is a free pattern. You can use it for personal use only, not commercial use. You can find her on Instagram at the Snowflake Diaries Official. She's on TikTok and Facebook, and she has a blog. Anyways, she's a Russian designer, and she cannot accept payments right now. So she is offering several of her patterns for free on her blog. So I went ahead and downloaded her patterns. I'm sharing it here with you. And then I think I put them in my cart. I think it allows you to put in cart. So I put some patterns in my cart for when she is able to accept payments again, because I just don't believe it is this cross-stitcher's designer's fault what the people in charge of her country are doing. Does that make sense? So I think she's a beautiful designer. Love her things. And I was really looking for spring and found several on her website. So here's one with a little chick. She offers 3 different languages. Here's another spring. And then this cute little summer. Oh, I love the fabric she used here. It doesn't say what fabric it is, but go check her out. Her beautiful free downloads, and show some support. And if you can, if we're able to support her financially later on, that would be a wonderful thing too. One of the things, we're going away this weekend, and just a short trip. I will be stuck in a meeting for 3 hours. I'm not so sure I'll be able to cross stitch. It's my husband's company, and I don't think the lighting is going to be well enough for me to do it, and then it might embarrass him, but I'm still going to, I need a small that will fit like in the size of a bag like this that I could put into my purse. I need it to be light enough that'll be easy to see, like a lighter color fabric. And I'm thinking something like I just did here with the My Love, something that has 1 or 2 colors. Or I thought about doing the dove and doing the outline of the dove, and then I could just fill in the dove. So those spring ones I just showed you are in contention. This is another one, although it might still be too complicated. I was planning on bringing, and that's why I started it, I was planning on bringing that Madame Chantilly dove heart piece, that's the name of it, pattern. But then I was looking, and as I started stitching, I realized, oh, there's a lot of color changes. It's too much to be taking for what I am going for. So I'm on the lookout. I also got this spring. This is from Fat Quarter Shop. Celebrate the Seasons. Spring, isn't that cute? That would be, because it's kind of just a little pattern, that might be an easy, quick start. I could even just bring, I'm looking at it, I could even just bring the first page and the colors in the bird. But I don't think I got the floss pack for it, so I need to do a color conversion, so we'll see. Oh, look, I found the tag. Primrose Primitives. And you can look her up. She is on Facebook as well. So she has all kinds of home decor and furniture. Squirrel. Okay. This is another, this is what I was going to do too. This is Amazing Grace. I pulled that out because I can do it in just one color. Sorry, that is a lot of glare. This is by Brenda Riddle Designs. I could do it all in one color. I'm not going to. I thought, wouldn't it be pretty with, this is the December, I believe, fabric and floss of the month from Be Stitch Me. Oh, the color. That's closer. It's called Lunar. It's 32 count Jobelin. So that was the other problem. If I'm somewhere with poor lighting, am I going to be able to see the stitches? I thought about just, so we're leaving Saturday morning. I thought about maybe tomorrow or tomorrow night just doing the outline. It has half stitches, and then I could do the back stitch around. I mean the second cross, but the other half stitch going back. But these are my colors. It's so pretty. Oh, I debated back and forth. I have a color, I think it's Seafoam, I could be wrong, from Classic Color Works, doing it more in that mint color with hers. But then I thought, well, so this is in my radar, as Brenda and Laura, Brenda the Serial Starter would say. So that's my big thing tonight, is to decide for sure what I'm going to do, get it kitted up and ready, and do a little bit of stitching on it if I have time tomorrow. In that same vein, that's one of the reasons I have this. I started looking through my old magazines, and there are a few. I just saw it. There's lots in here I could use, and in fact, there's some I've printed out as my working copies. Lots in here I could do, but then I'm like, I don't know if I want to do a bunch of lovey-dovey stuff for my husband's work trip. We're flying down there with people from his work. And so here's another one. This is just CrossStitch magazine. This is August 24th, 2020. And I wanted to pull a couple things out for you. This is one I thought about doing. Let's see, it goes like this. But there's a lot more colors than it looks like in here. One of the things I thought though is I could do some over-dyed flosses and then I wouldn't have to do so much, just one color for this shade of blue, one for this. And then I would do the 2 or 3 colors they have for the actual waves, but that's one thought. But here, I have these magazines, and then I always forget to look through them. This I thought would be a great one of those Stitch for Ukraines, because I believe their flower is the sunflower. Look at that. Look at that sunflower. Look at those colors. You could even stitch this on blue, that dark blue, and then you wouldn't have to stitch so many things. This is designed by Rana Nori. I don't know her. But yeah. So that thought came to mind. And the next page, again, this is Bluebirds and Sunshine. And it's by Elizabeth Spurlock of Saving Grace's Fine Needle Arts. So another thing I was looking at as I was looking through these old Just Cross Stitch magazines is the designers that I wasn't familiar with. So this is another one I'm not familiar with. So I'm going to go look her up. Saving Grace's. Summer Heat. God, that's so funny. Okay. Oopsies. This is another thing where you could change the colors. I thought this would be a really cute one to stitch for my parents. It's on something small they could hang in their camper. I pulled out Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher as well. This is the 2021 spring issue. I don't know if you can get this online. This I have wanted to stitch since it came out. It's the whole reason I bought this. And there's a Stitching with the Housewives spring as well, but this sold me. And now it's available as its own chart. I think it's something that might have just come out at market. Yeah, there's the first page. Seasons of the Heart Spring from the Blue Flower. Ugh. But that's too intricate to take with me. This is the spring one as well by Stitching with the Housewives. They have their Buffalo Plaid Spring is what they're calling it. This I was flipping through backwards, and I actually looked at the pattern first, and the pattern is what drew me in. The colors, I like the colors of the bird, but I would probably change it so it wasn't so brown, and it would be maybe a lighter, maybe more of the pastels, is what I'm thinking. But I really like that. It's got the little bees and the bee skep and the cute little bunny butt. So this is Sampling of Spring by Jennifer Richardson. She's Violets and Verses. And Kim Gavlik of Leela May Designs. Oh. Didn't even realize who did that. Look at that. Violets and Verses, that's the freebie that I just FFO'd. That's so cute. I can't show you the pattern, but the pattern is so easy to read. And this, I love the little border. There's something so sweet about it. I also like that the tulips are in the grass here. I would change the eggs. I would change the color palette here. And I think take the bunny off and actually put a verse. I may even leave that. I don't know, but I earmarked this mainly for this border because I thought if there's something I need a border for, this is a really nice, sweet, stitched up border. And I left myself a note because I would look at that and go, those aren't my colors. But I'm trying to look just beyond my colors. Same thing with this. That butterfly. I just don't know. I would make this more my colors. I would change the color of the pot. I would change the color of the butterfly. I would soften or brighten the yellow in the bees. I'd make the crown more silver or gold, maybe even go into the krynic. I'd make it more red than poppy. Yeah, sometimes when you start changing, it can be an issue as well. So it's just to fit my color palette and my personality, and that's okay because we each have things that we like. And if we're stitching, we might as well stitch something that we want to put up in our home. If we're not giving it away, if we're giving it away, we stitch it for the person we're stitching it for, right? So this is called Even Busy Bees by Nerdin Camber of Twin Peak Primitives. Twin Peak Primitives. And then this. So this is what I am thinking. This is called Easter Hair by Barbara Anna Astre Mendez. I bet this Barbara Anna design. And it has a picture. That is so not how I pictured her. Oh. But it does. Barbara Anna. So with this one, the colors here in that, I want to make sure you can see the colors. What would you call that? The arc over that bunny? Oh, those colors. I thought, wouldn't that be beautiful? Taking those colors and translating them into this piece. What do you think? I liked it. The other thing this has is a lot of punch needle, which I've never done. I would love, love, love to convert, like, oh my gosh. Okay, I don't want to show you the pattern. Look at that! I love that. That is so cute. This one on the back. It's so pretty, but I don't do punch needle. One more, just because this is so funny. This is a cat tiptoeing through the tulips. Prancing in the Tulips by Stephanie Webb. Lindy Stitches. I'm recognizing all these names that when I first got it, I didn't recognize the names. So that's just a little walk through some of my older magazines. I encourage you this week to go pick up some of your older magazines. Just paw through them, just look through them and see if there's anything that maybe tickles your fancy or sparks your creativity or that you want to work with. And even consider doing maybe different colors or on different fabric or different size, or doing it just like they had it, and just discover your love of those magazines and why you bought them. I feel sometimes guilty that I have these magazines that I haven't worked out of, and we don't have to always work out of it. Sometimes it's the things that inspire us, and maybe it's the colors they use together, maybe it's the pattern, maybe it's a border, maybe it's a motif, and whatever it is, or maybe it's just looking through because it's a book of things that you love. But I encourage you this week before we meet again to look through your magazines and let me know if you find something in them. I'd love to hear it. Okay, shopping. First of all, some club orders came in, not very many, but let me take a little drink. So club orders, the May calendar crates came in from Stitching with the Housewives. I'm in the club that has the floss and the pattern from Fat Quarter Shop. I think June is the last one. Is it June or July? Did we start with July or did we start with August? No, we did. We start with July. So there's only one more left. This one has the quilts. I love this one. I love it. It's covering up the cute little bottom one. What does that look like? Oh, it says Home Sweet Home. Need to get back to work on my calendar crates. They're just sitting there feeling very lonely. Okay, there's that. And then the Floss Fix, the Classic Colorworks, was for March. Dandelion Stem, Tiny Vine, Prairie Grass, Joshua Tree, Muddy Puddle, and Wilderness. They're calling this Forest Green. And here's the interesting thing. I meant to bring up my Muddy Puddle. This Muddy Puddle that they have is way different than what I have. It kind of reminds me of, maybe a little more green than blue, but it kind of reminds me of Driftwood. The Joshua Tree is different too than what I have. So I don't know if they've kind of changed the dye lots or how they're doing it, but yeah, so not necessarily my favorite colors. The dandelion stem is really pretty. I think my dandelion stem is more yellow. So it, to me, a Tiny Vine I really like. This is a new one to me. I've never had that one. Never had prairie grass either, but that I won't remember. I don't know if it's just that dye lots have changed or just the way these were dyed, but it is interesting to see how they change from year to year. Okay, then I got, hold on, because Cat is not being kind to my color in cotton. I got my first packs of the Color in Cotton Thread Club. I actually got the all colors. Added some other things to my order. I am so glad I got the all colors because it's the all colors, the second part, that is so me. I love it so much. The March 2022, I'm sure you've gotten yours by now, but if not, and you don't want to be, you want to be surprised, look away. These are the first 5 colors. And this video is running long, so I'm not going to pull them all out. But these are the second. Yeah. I am so in love. This actually, these will be used, especially the ones on either end. That looks like a snowman's nose to me. But these are my colors. These are my colors. The fabric, oh my heavens, I am so in love. This is Ophelia, 28 count Lugana. It is so pretty. It is not, it's a cream but not yellow. Maybe just a little tiny bit of a light green undertone with an oatmeal yellow, not yellow, oatmeal creamy base. So pretty. Sorry, I just sit there and look at it. I know I don't have the best lighting today because Southwest Washington, but you gotta do what you gotta do. This is 28 count Lugana in limestone, and I am so here for it. I want more of this. Lots more of this. Oh, I think this is going to be a perfect, well, you know, Color in Cotton, they are perfect in neutrals. And then I was sharing a little bit about this last week, but I got distracted, so I'm not sure if I said it quite right, but Color in Cotton put out some, first of all, it's just been amazing, the communication, the back and forth, and how responsive they are. But they put out a misdyed, I think when they're having some kind of weather issue, the fabric, or the, I guess fabrics and floss just kind of came out funky or weird. And instead of putting it out there and people going, this doesn't match, or it just didn't meet their high quality, their high standard for the quality and the color that they wanted to put out. So instead of tossing it, she put it out as misdyed and marked it way down. And then she gave a coupon so that I could have it all shipped together. Not just me. Anybody that's in her fabric and thread clubs could combine their orders so you don't have to pay shipping over and over again, which, so thoughtful. Plus it just comes in one package, so it's not every day coming in. My husband's going, you know, it's all just one little package. It's just my subscription. This was misdyed M1003. It's a wonderful gray to blue, and the misdyed is so pretty. But the thing I imagine with them is not only would it not match what they already have in stock, but then if somebody got this as their first one and they went to go get it again, it's not going to ever come out this way again because there was something in the air that day. It's not the way it would normally turn out. So this is one of them. I love it. And then I end up getting 2 of the, she called it Thread Mist Dye M1001. Oh, it's a wonderful red. It's showing up even darker on the camera, but you can see the variation, I hope. There. And it's 20 yards each. Oh, that is a fabulous red. If it had come in sooner, I probably would have done that cardinal-ish bird on Quaker Snowflakes in that color, but it didn't. So that's my color and cotton, and just another shout out to, she does a fabulous job. Oh, there's one more thing. She does a fabulous job with her dyeing. I love her colors. I love her threads. I wish more people or designers used her colors in their charts because we're on the same page. I just love her colors. The other thing that I got was, it's 16 count Ada in the color aged paper. So I was able to add this on. And I'm thinking I probably need to go, next time I get my laptop, I need to order, if there's any left, I'll order some more of this because it is another fantastic neutral. It's darker, a little bit darker, you can see, than the limestone, and much darker than the Ophelia. So this is a great, just a very light, it's a light brown, but not so light like this one is. So it's so amazing. I mean, this could be considered light brown or tan, but they're so different, each one of them. She just does a fabulous job. And I was able to combine the shipping, so I only had to pay the shipping once, which was great. And last night when I had looked, I don't know why I didn't order last night. What was I doing? I got distracted. But she still had this 16 count aged paper. I don't necessarily need it, but I want it. She also posted, that's why she had sent an email saying that several stores have picked up her fabric, so we have more opportunity to hopefully purchase her fabric from different retailers. All right, is that all of the okay, there's 2 more things and then I'm done. I did go to take my quilt to be quilted. I forgot the backing, I forgot the batting, so I had to go back. I just got so excited. I did take everything down from here. I started putting up the spring, but it's because my cat got locked in here overnight. One of the cats did, and he peed on all of the pillows. I had taken the shams off to do the next season, and he peed on the pillows. He peed on the Afghan. Knocked things over. I've seen these spools that, especially Brenda and the Serial Starter is what I remember, as well as Mama Loves You GB, have done finishes on these old spools. Well, I got this at the Shiplap coffee shop in Yelm. It was my first time visiting that shop. Again, I was looking for furniture, but they had some home decor. So this is one of the things, and it actually has the little scissors along with the twine. I imagine that's how they used to use it, to tie up packages, and you just keep the scissors to make it easy to cut off what you needed. Isn't that cute? So I had to get that. And they had some that were just plain. I'm thinking I might have got one that was plain, but I might not have. Anyways, I liked this because it had a little bit of red to raspberry color. And then before I reached this shop, my GPS took me right by Gigi's Quilting in Yelm, Washington. It's a great shop. I've only been once, maybe once since the pandemic. Maybe not even once. Can't remember. So I went in there and they have these spools of rickrack. I just have to show you this because sometimes you can get rickrack cheaper from a quilting store. Aren't those colors yummy? I like that kind of Americana-ish red, white, and blue. And then I got pink. Remember those little green scissors I showed you that I keep in here? Of course, I put it in the bag to take with me yesterday in the car. Is it here? No, but they had other colors. So they had the pink. I've been looking for the pink, and so I grabbed 2 of those so I can have one in my purse and one in my 2 in my project bags. They had these little magnets there. Quiltaholic. It's like a quilt block. Anyways, I seem to be able to keep the backs of the magnets, but I've got a couple of needle minders that I just have the backs at this point. So, and I can switch them out. They also, I thought these were so cute. These little, and yes, I did go there for fabric, but you know, what would you call this? A pin holder, maybe? It's magnetic on the bottom, and it looks like a spool. Well, it is a spool of thread or elastic, and then it has all these pins on top, and I couldn't decide between the pink or the blue aqua, so I got both. I don't know. I know I don't need it, but I was having a happy shopping day. I could shop without my mask. I cannot tell you how wonderful that was. Okay, what am I doing? Is that it? Holy moly, that was a lot longer than I expected. I'm glad I didn't wait a whole nother week to share all that with you. The plans this weekend, we're going on a quick trip down to California for my husband's work. They have this meeting, kind of the state of the company. We haven't been able to do it the last 2 years because, well, you know, no meeting. So they are flying us down on the company plane, which is so nice. I'm so glad. Otherwise we'd have to drive because I can't do the mask for 2 hours. Actually, it would end up being closer to 4 hours because of the time how early you have to get to the airport to check in and all that. So we would have had to drive down, or I would just have to stay home. But we were able to get in on the company plane, and we'll fly out from Olympia Airport, that small little airport for those of you in this area, and straight into Redding, California. And then I think around 9 o'clock in the morning, and then our flight back is at 10. So the next morning. So it's a really quick thing. We'll go to the afternoon reception or the afternoon meeting, and then come back to the hotel and get changed for the dinner reception that night, and then go to bed, wake up in the morning, and fly back home. So it's really short, but exhausting, a little trip. So that's going on this weekend. I don't think I'll get a lot of stitching done, but I'm trying to get at least one project to take with me. And I had to change my whole clothing plan because I was like, oh, California in March is just beautiful. I could wear capris and blind people with my poor pasty white legs, but I could wear capris. And I got this, I have this flowy, springy type shirt that I could wear with it. And I looked at the weather. It's supposed to be a high of, I think it's 48, 50, low 50s, and raining on Saturday. I'm like, Guess that means I don't have to get a pedicure today. Oh, but my shoes might still be open-toed, the high heels I have to wear to the dinner thing. I don't know. So I'm just getting ready for that. I don't plan on having a lot of time stitching, but I want to bring my stitching just in case there is downtime. Because those kinds of things cause anxiety and stress, and stitching helps relieve that. I want to finish up just my type, just keep going on all my stitching. I want to stitch all the new things, and I am really, really hoping to make it to acorns and threads before my next video would be awesome. I don't know if I can swing that, but that would be a goal, because I need to decide what I'm going to get at market. I mean, not at market, but from market soon for all the limited edition stuff. That's another thing. If you know of a place that has the exclusives or the limited editions for sale, or just pictures of them so I can see, will you let me know? Because I kind of get confused. Some things are exclusive to market, but it's only they'll release them later, but there's some things that once they're sold out, and I don't know the difference. And so the first thing I want to do is not miss out on those that once they're sold out, they're sold out. Do you know where to find those? So what are you stitching? What have you found lately? And if you do look through the magazines, let me know what magazine you found, especially if we can find it online, or what you are stitching, because I always like to hear that. Thanks you guys so much for joining me. I will see you in my next video. Bye.